Good afternoon and welcome to the most recent edition of Marty Ohlhaut Grace Ly Q&A. We've had a little sabbatical here. It's been the last couple weeks since our 10 for 7.
Been very busy.
Hit the
Shelves.
The shelves. Yes, there it is. But we're back by popular demand. What kind of tips might we be able to share with you about the challenges for turning a personal memoir, personal story into a book? So we spent some time doing that. We boiled them down into 5 tips. It was recently published in Writer's Digest, and we'd like to give you a quick synopsis of those 5 tips.
Yes. So the first tip we have is to determine your audience, because that's going to be the thing that will really shape your entire book. When it comes to memoirs, a lot of people, authors or family members of authors, are sensitive about their lives being out in the public. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with writing your book with the intent of just having your personal friends and family or grandkids read the book. You can also write for a broader audience. Determine first, are you writing for your friends and family, maybe your high school class or your college class, or are you going to go for the broader audience? And that really will determine a lot of what you're going to include in the book.
Our next tip, we call Let's Be Honest. I mean, one of the basic points of a memoir is you're supposed to be telling sort of a true story of some things that really happened. And of course, our memories are malleable, so people will recognize that as you're relating the events of your story. They expect some of that. But they do expect you to be accurate with other details. So as your story happens within the bounds of other geography, historical details, events, you do need to be accurate about those events, because once people notice a discrepancy, the whole story comes suspect. So do your research and make sure everything that your references is accurate. If you're going to quote a occurrence of a full moon on a specific date in your book, as we did, make sure there was a full moon. You know, you can go, the lunar tables go back to 1994, and we're glad we checked them.
Yeah. Tip number 3 is to find your bookends. Again, with a memoir, you can choose what time period you want to write about. Unlike an autobiography that usually starts the day you were born, with a memoir, you are very flexible in choosing what you want to share with the world or with your small group of friends, whatever you've decided upon. But just for instance, like Jeanette Walls in The Glass Castle wrote about many decades of her life. Bill Bryson in A Walk in the Woods wrote about just a couple of months hiking the Appalachian Trail, and our book is only about 2 weeks. So I will say, make sure you have enough material, because the average book is, the minimum is 50,000 words. So make sure you've got enough content for 50,000 words, and then also make sure that your content can answer these questions. What was the conflict? How did I resolve it? What did I learn? How did the experience change me? And if you can answer those questions, then you are on your way to being able to identify themes and develop your characters and craft your story.
Tip number 4, show, don't tell. This is a tough one for us because in writing the memoir, the initial scribing of everything, we just listed out all the things that happened. And we thought it was pretty interesting to us. But in working with Sandra Jonas at the Sandra Jonas Publishing House, she was really big on this point to us. She's, you know, it's a great story, but so often you get caught up in telling the story. Can you show me the story? Neat little scene, very good. Show me what happened, don't tell me. And a very simple little example. I'm mentioning driving down the road and the kids are driving me crazy in the back seat. She goes, show us how'd that happen? What did you see? And then it became, I'm driving along and the back of my seat's rocking back and forth, they're kicking me, I can't see out the rearview mirror because things are flying around. And I started to show the scene. And people did, one of the biggest comments we get on the book is that it's engaging because I can kind of see what's happening. I can see the characters. I feel like I know the characters. I can see the scenery. I feel like I'm there. And a lot of that credit goes to Sandra and Grace. Okay.
And the 5th tip is entertain me. And I think there's several ways you can entertain a reader: through humor, action, interesting facts, suspense, romance. And the one that we really used the most was humor. We have a similar sense of humor, and that's comes natural to us.
So we're very, very funny people.
As you can tell.
Yeah.
So humor was our primary source of entertainment, and then second, I would say, was interesting facts. Like, we tried to include interesting facts throughout the book, and suspense. I would say suspense a little bit, and actually several of the editorial reviews that we've received has talked about how our book is suspenseful, and again, that is something that we had to work hard at, and I would say a lot of it falls at the end of the chapters. We had to work hard at not closing off the chapter so well, and instead making it suspenseful so that the reader would want to continue on to the next chapter instead of saying, oh, this is a great place to stop reading for the night. We really worked to make the ends of the chapters so that you want to keep reading the book. And the other thing along with Entertain Me is to be very strict about deleting anything that will bog down the story or that does not in some way entertain the reader.
And now you're done bogging. Okay.
I'm done bogging.
Okay,
I've done bogging you down.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you for joining us again. We're back on the air. Hopefully, we'll be back again next week with.
We will be.
Or maybe we'll do bloopers or something. Yep.
No, we're including bloopers in this one.
Oh. Well, we got plenty to work with. So.
And we're live.
Oh, is it on? All right.
Hey.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, guys.
Hey, good afternoon, and welcome back to Grace Ohlhaut and Marty Ohlhaut Grace Ly. Let me do it over again. Yeah, get our names right. Good. Always your writer. It was recently published.
Writer's Digest.
We'll call the next.
Apparently, we have a flood in the house, according to my 4-year-old.
Yeah, recently, and we're going to give you a quick synopsis to those 5 tips right now. Well, not right now. We're going to hold on for a second or two.
Okay.